Yes, people can look like they are getting better before they die. This is a phenomenon that happens called terminal lucidity. In my book, chapter 6 talks about the bedside phenomena, and terminal lucidity is the number one phenomena that happens. 1 in 3 people dying will experience terminal lucidity. So what is it? It gets the nickname the surge or the rally. And Grey's Anatomy actually has a famous episode where Mark Sloan experiences the rally. And spoiler alert, he does die. Unfortunately, we don't know what causes terminal lucidity. People have their ideas about what is causing it, but there is nothing that has been scientifically proven or studied to tell us exactly why it's happening. But here is what it looks like. Someone will be looking like they are very close to death. They usually have some kind of chronic terminal illness where everyone knows they're likely going to be dying soon, and then suddenly they have a really good day. So it can look like Mark Sloan's in Grey's Anatomy, where he gets up out of bed, he's fully alert and oriented, he's walking, talking, eating. He looks like he's had like a miraculous healing. And then he suddenly dies. Terminal lucidity does not have to be that big. It can be, that is real. Someone can look like they're very close to death, and then suddenly they can walk, they can talk, they're alert and oriented, they're hungry, their personality comes back. But the hard part is enjoying that while it's happening and knowing that they will likely die shortly after. So you don't really catch the rally or know you're witnessing the rally unless you have already been educated about it. Hence why I think it's so important people know that it happens, and it happens very frequently. Side note, the rally does not have to look like that though. It does not have to be this big elaborate thing where they're suddenly walking, talking, and seem like they're perfectly healed. It can be subtle. They can just have a really good day. They can just wake up and be a little less disoriented, or suddenly say they're hungry for their favorite milkshake. Something as simple as that. Something where they're just looking so close to death and really not waking up or really not cognizant, and then suddenly they have 1 or 2 days where they are just more with it. They just had a couple really good days, is what I often hear it described as. The key point to making it the rally, the surge, or like I said, terminal lucidity, is that they die shortly after. So I do feel like people with chronic terminal illnesses like dementia, like people can often mistake that they're having the rally because they have good and bad days. True terminal lucidity is when someone is close to death, big spike in how they're acting, and then suddenly they die. So the whole sudden death part is what really gives it the true definition of terminal lucidity. So terminal lucidity should not last for a week. I would say max a couple days, and as little as a few hours. A couple years ago, my mom actually saw one of my first videos about terminal lucidity and said, "Honey, I think your grandma had the rally or the surge." So when my grandma was dying, she was 91 and she was ready to die, just FYI. We would have birthday parties for her. I remember her 91st birthday, we had a birthday party for her, and she was like irritated that she was still around and irritated that we were buying her gifts. She was like, "What do I need this for? I don't even know why I'm still here." So no sadness there. She was like ready to go. So on her last days, she was getting very close to death. She had not eaten or drank for days. She was fully unconscious, and she had 8 children. So they were all in and out caring for her on different days. It happened to be Thanksgiving, and my mom was taking her shift to go watch her mom, and she thought she'd bring a plate of Thanksgiving dinner either for herself or just randomly if my grandma happened to be awake, which my mom sort of knew she wouldn't be. She hadn't been for days. There was a big snowstorm coming, so my mom was just getting ready to like hunker down and be with her mom, my grandma. When she walked into the room, to her surprise, my grandma was awake, sitting up and trying to put her shoes on. And my mom, of course, freaked out like, "Mom, what are you doing? You're gonna hurt yourself." Like she hadn't been up in days, let alone putting shoes on and talking and stuff. She looked at my mom and goes, "Honey, we gotta go. I gotta get my stuff. We gotta go." And my mom's like, "Where are we gonna go? There's a snowstorm outside. It's Thanksgiving. No, come on, just sit up with me. I brought you Thanksgiving dinner. Let's heat it up and you can eat Thanksgiving dinner." And to my mom's surprise, my grandma got up, sat down at the kitchen table, and started eating Thanksgiving dinner. And then my mom was like, I knew she was feeling so much better because she actually complained to me that the food wasn't hot enough. Because my grandma always wanted the food to be like piping hot. So my mom laughed and put it back in the microwave to make it piping hot for her. She ate the whole thing and then went back to bed and then died a day later. So that's a perfect example of the rally. Perfect example. So what's important to know about terminal lucidity or the rally? Like, how can you know that that's what is happening when you're witnessing it? I would say it can be difficult. It could be difficult to know, especially if someone's kind of up and down a lot. So my first thing to say would be enjoy every good day. Kind of treat good days like, hey, I never know if this is going to be the last good day. So even if it's not the rally, even if they don't die shortly after, you still embraced what was, right? You also could educate the people around them, the caregiver, saying, hey, if my loved one suddenly has a really good day or suddenly really alert, please call me and tell me, because I want to be there for it, or I want to spend time with them when they are having this really good day. Another clear sign, like I said, is if you have been caring for them and you notice, they've been not awake, not eating, sleeping all the time, and then suddenly they're awake. Suddenly they want to get up and they can get up. Suddenly they say they're hungry and they want X, Y, and Z food. And listen, if they can actually eat it, make sure you get it for them. I would just err on the side of what if and treat it like it's the rally, like I said before. So call people that you know would want to be there and who could be there, and just enjoy your time with your loved one, knowing, unfortunately, that they could die shortly after. I think it's important to educate about this because I think a lot of people, if they don't know about it, they'll look at this as like, this is it. They could keep going. Maybe they are going to get better. And there's like this false sense of hope, which causes like even more devastation when it doesn't happen that way. My only advice would be to try to stay present in the moment with your loved one having that really good day. Look at it as a true blessing, almost like a gift that your loved one is giving you before they die, that one last good day where you guys can experience laughs together and just have a really loving moment. I know a lot of you that are watching this are probably thinking right now, I've experienced this. This happened to me. Maybe you didn't know it was the rally. Maybe you did. Please let me know in the comments. Share amongst each other. It's great to share these, I think, messages of hope and love and forming a beautiful community together.